Test, test. What up, what up, what up, everybody? Welcome to another Monster Monday. Yeah, we're a little bit early today. You want to know why? Well, I'm going to be heading out to Minnesota here in a few days, and I just wanted to get one more play test in right before I do, and of this new character that I've been working on. So we're starting a little bit early. Also, I no longer have meetings at 9:30 on Mondays, so we might be changing the Monster Monday time from 11, which is really late, to earlier in the morning, probably like 9 o'clock or something like that, maybe 10 o'clock. But today we're going to talk about just a couple things, and then we're going to dive right into a play test of Kava, brand new character sheet Kava, and I think Molthu we're playing today. But first, let's go ahead and check out one thing I would like to show you. Boom. So recently, I put out Zuxus and Maravek for you guys to vote on what kind of illustrations you're wanting to look at. And I just wanted to reiterate that today we're looking at Zuxus. This is option number 1. Let's zoom in slightly. And let me know if you can hear me. I can't hear myself, so I think it's working. This is Zuxus number 1, and this is Zuxus number 2. I went ahead and told my artist that we are going to go with option number 1, and we're going to move forward with that direction based on user feedback. And also, I think it just looks more in line with the Montoons universe. So we're going to go ahead and work with Zuxus number 1. What I really like about this character is that it looks very much like a dinosaur, and I love that vibe. And then also, he really knocked out of the park the head. It's exactly what I was looking for, right? Because I wanted it to look like a skull, like a half skull, from the westerns and whatnot. And then the tongue almost looks like venom, and I think it looks great. This one, I told them basically there was not a ton I really enjoyed about this. It just it looked too alienoid, and I wanted to steer away from the sci-fi, so I went ahead and did option 1. Now, option 2 is the brand new one. This is Maravek. It'll actually be Maravek with EK, so Marovek. This is Maravek 1, or this is Maravek 2. Both options are really, really good. Okay, so I have a few opinions. I reached out to you guys, and you had some opinions as well. Overall, it was actually a very balanced mix. You guys really liked this one, but you really liked some aspects of this one. With this one, you guys thought it was really cool, but it looks like every other monster out there, and it also looked very similar to the monster from Hellboy, the movie, which I didn't realize until I looked back, and yes, it very much does. So I liked this option, but I also liked how this first option very much looked like almost like a primitive type creature. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much a jungle cat type Montoon, but it leans too much into the humanoid aspect, where it's like basically looks like a human jungle cat. So what I did is I had our artist, based on your feedback, I had our artist look at Maravek 1 and Maravek 2, mix and match a little bit of those things and put 2 and 2 together. He is currently working on that right now, but I'm telling you what I will be taking from this one will be the dots. I don't know if you can see my cursor. I think you can. I'll be taking these little bubbles and the spikes, a little bit of his build, because based on the character sheet, his build really works. And then I'm also going to be taking a little bit of the head, the eye, and this little dot right next to the eye, and mixing it with the fangs from this character. I love the arms and how the dots along the edges of this arms go ahead. And then I'm also going to use the tail. I really liked the tail of this one, but I didn't like the fact that it looked like a panther. So we're going to mix and mash those two together, and boom, he's working on that right now. So that's basically all I wanted to say right away. We're going to jump right in to a playtest of Kava and Molthu. So you guys are going to get a full playtest of how this game plays out. So if you were curious how you do this, well, right now is the time to shine. As we're playing, if you have any questions in the comments, I will answer them in terms of how to play this game, how to get this game. All in all, let's do this. So let me get my character screen out. Let's do it. So this is the TTS mod for Montoons, Clash of the Coral Isles. If you've never played before, this is a print and play arena combat roll and write style game. So each of these things are in a menu holder or a sheet, and these are called character sheets. This is a battle map, and then the Guardians expansion that we have here will come in from here, and these characters will come in separately as separate sheets. So how to set up the game? Essentially, you take these character sheets, put a battle map out in the middle. So cool, I did that. And then each player has to grab a character sheet. Well, today we are testing the brand new Kava, and this is the first play test, so it might go absolutely terrible, versus Molthu, the name given by Michael Posada, one of our amazing community members, after our name needed to change a while back. So that's essentially the brunt of how it's set up, and we're ready to go. This map is map number A, so we had to put the waystone on the number 6, but every battle map besides this has their own special unique conditions. Usually you will place your characters first and then place out the waystone. So we're going to put the waystone token on number 6, and then we're going to have Kava go first in selecting because they have been to an island most recently. And I am playing as Kava for the sake of this test. I'm playing against a playtester, aka Grumble, our mascot. And Grumble is going to be a little bit more of a passive playtester today versus Kava, who is an aggressive playtester. So we're going to place Kava. This is temporary art in one of the starting locations with these flag indicators right here. We're going to put Kava just right here. And then we're going to put Molthu. Let's put Molthu right across the way just to be as simple as possible over here. And let's get right into it. Let's explain what is Kava going to be doing. So I'm going to need to grab some objects because Kava needs some tokens. We're just going to turn these little guys into tokens. We're going to turn them into purple tokens. Boom, boom. These are going to be considered poison or toxic tokens, and I will be placing those out on the board. We're going to decrease their size. Just like that. So Kava's entire game plan. So this is what Kava's going to be doing. Their entire game plan is based around poison and putting out toxic poison tokens. Okay. So essentially what I'm going to be trying to do as playtester of Kava is this is a brand new playtest, right? So I am trying out to break everything. I'm trying to make sure these moves are feeling good and balanced within the other character. And we have a special attack that I really want to utilize and try and break up. So this entire character, at the start of I have a passive ability right at the top here. It says at the start of each round, all Montoons adjacent to Kava gain poison. So essentially, I want to be next to Montoons or other players so that I can give them poison in one instance. Because poison at the end of that Montoon's round is going to erase the poison, take that much damage, and then boom, they're going to reduce the poison by 1. So if they had 1 poison at the end of their turn, they're going to take 1 damage, erase it, turn it into 0. They no longer have poison. Kava is obviously immune to poison because it's all about poison. So that is their toxic passive ability. I have some entangle, so I'm going to try to entangle them. And then sticky web says if they are already entangled, I deal some damage instead. So I'm going to try to entangle them and then deal damage. And then ultimately, I will spit a bunch of poison tokens out, making it hard for our opponents to walk through the map without getting poisoned at some point. Boom. The final thing is Weaver's Gambit is a brand new special attack. I'm going to try once per turn. I can assign up to 2 dice here. And for each die, I get to fill in one shape corresponding to its number, odds, or evens. So if I place a die that's a value of 1, which is an odd, I can fill in any of the odd boxes like this anywhere I want. If it's evens, I can fill in any of the circles with the E anywhere I want. Now, at any point, let's say I I filled in this one right here for evens. I filled in this one right here for odds. Well, notice how both of those are filled in. This little bonus right here, I can now collect it because I have connected one dot with the other dot. So I'm going to go ahead and erase that circle to show you. So if I fill that in, I could fill this web part in, and boom, I get that bonus right there. So you're going to be building a web as you're playing this character. So that's going to be quite fun. And then, of course, once you get all three filled in, like every other special attack, you can mark it as available with the dashed line here. Once it's available, I can cross it off using either this top ability or the second ability here. So that is what our plan is with Kava. We're going to try it out. The ultimate, we'll see if we get to the ultimate. We probably won't. Now, Molthu, if you haven't played Molthu before, and basically I'm going to be placing lava out on the map and dealing damage based on lava in range. So this icon is the range. Same with this. So it's range, and I'm going to be trying to deal some damage. So let's go ahead and do it. Obviously, I'm playing against myself. This is not a true game because I don't have an opponent that I'm playing against, but I'm putting myself in a different player's shoes, and I'm going to go ahead and try and play test as that player. And like I said, I'm playing blue today, so I'm going to be the aggressor, and blue player is going to be the passive aggressor, so they're going to be more likely to go after the waystone and less likely to go in full combat. Let's do it. Okay, so at the beginning of every round, I look at my passive. I am not next to anyone. We're going to simultaneously all roll our 5 dice. Same here. Molthu is going to roll their 5 dice. And we're going to place these dice in various areas. So let's look at Kava. What do I want to do here? I probably, looking at this map, my opponent is all the way over here. So I probably want to start by going towards the waystone and maybe placing out some toxic tokens. So let's go ahead and try and do that. I definitely want to try and break this a little bit, so I'm going to do that too. We do need a speed value, so that is right here. So I have to place a dice on the speed value. I don't care turn 1 with Kava about going first or second because I kind of want to see what my opponent's going to do. So I'm going to place a 2, so that way the higher speed value goes first. So I want to try and go second. Then, you know what? Jump 4 is a jump movement of straight line. 1, 2, 3. I could do a jump 4, so I could place any die there. I'm going to place, I'm going to place a die of 3 right there to jump 2 or jump 4. Then I don't think I'm going to be able to attack them this turn with this, but however, I am going to apply my doubles. So this basic attack right here shows you I need 1 die of anything, but they have to equal each other. So I have to place doubles out. So I'm going to place doubles here, and I'm going to try and place some tokens in a straight line. This character sheet has been updated since then. So this says, I believe it's no longer, they don't get removed at the start of the turn. They just get mandatory placed out. So let me do that. Cool. I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to assign 1 die here, just making sure I can get my special attack going. Now, moving on over here, obviously in person, if I wasn't playtesting against myself, I wouldn't know what speed my players are using. I wouldn't know where they assign their dice or anything. And I will say right now, that is a terrible first roll. I almost got a Yahtzee in 2s, and that sometimes happens. So we're going to try and go, let's see. Let's try and go first. But obviously, we don't know if we're going to go first. So we're going to place a 2 because we have an abundance of 2s. As Molthu, I want to just move up maybe to this whirlpool and place some lava around my player's area. So let's go ahead and do that. My passive, I can walk on rocks because they are not difficult terrain, and I do not take lava damage, as you'll notice I will be doing here in a second. So I am going to go ahead and my dice are absolutely terrible, so I only got 2, but what I can do is make sure I get a shell to then increase my dice. So I'm going to place a 1 on Fissure Quake. I'm going to go ahead and place a 2 here because I want to place some lava. I'm going to place a 2 on my ultimate attack because I'm the passive player. And that's going to get me a shell, which then I can circle this, which then let me modify my dice. So I'm going to make this movement modified a little bit higher as well, turning it into a 3. Ultimately, my goal is to get onto this rock. So that is how a round works. Now we're both going to announce our speeds. This player would say 2. This player would say 2. Well, look at that. We're tied. Tied player, whoever has the lowest health is going to go first. If still tied, it's a roll. So Kava is going to be going first. So now we're going to resolve any of these attacks in any way possible. So I'm going to start by doing something that's really easy. I'm going to assign my die here. Cool. So I'm going to remove this and then fill in. I'm going to turn this into a purple. I'm going to fill in an even dot on my map because it's a 6, so it's an even. I'm going to go ahead and start. I can start anywhere. I'm going to start right here. Cool. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and use my special movement, which allows me to jump 4, which jump 4 is essentially I can move up to 4 spaces in a straight line, but I can ignore obstacles and terrain movement restrictions. So I'm actually going to jump 1, 2, 3. So I ignore the difficult terrain here and here. I am going to inflict entangle. However, there's no one in my way, so entangle is not going to work. Then I'm going to use my spit poison basic attack. I can't deal any damage because there's no one next to me, but I'm going to place a toxic token on 3 hexes in a straight line. So I'm going to have a physical token. You can represent it by dice, coins, anything you would like. I'm going to put a toxic token, and this can be on any hexes. It can target obstacles as well. The only thing toxic tokens cannot target are the waystones. Okay, so I'm gonna go right here, and right there because I know our character, the person we're fighting, can walk on rocks. So I want them to get poisoned as they walk on rocks. Cool. That is gonna end my turn, and all the dice go back ready to go to the next one. Now Molthu is gonna resolve their attacks. They're gonna go first. Sequencing matters in this game quite a lot. So I'm actually gonna cross off this box because I put a 2 in there. The question marks can be anything. That's going to allow me to get a shell, which I'm going to use here. I'm going to mark this shell as available, but I'm actually going to cross off that shell, allowing me to change this dice up here to a 3. Then I'm going to mark a 1 on my Fissure Quake because I have a die assigned. That is also going to get me a shell because I have a die assigned there, which I'm going to use that shell to circle this one because I can circle that. Now I'm going to move 3. I'm going to end up moving right here. So I'm going to go 1, 2, because this is difficult terrain. 3, end my move on rocks. And because I ended on a rock, because notice how it says if ending on a rock, I place up to 2 lava in range of 2. So I'm going to change on TTS, I'm going to change it to lava. You don't have to change your colors. But in range of 2, I do have to follow line of sight. So it can be anything here, 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 here. I'm going to first get rid of this spike pit and turn it into lava. When I place lava over top of something else, it negates that terrain below it. So this is no longer considered a spike pit. It's considered a lava hex for all intents and purposes. So I'm going to do that one there. And then I'm actually going to do this one right here because I don't want that to be water. I want that to be lava. I can place lava under my own hex, but I decided not to do that. Next thing I can do is lava slap. I can't deal any damage. There's no one next to me, but I'm going to remove the 2. And if my die equals 1 or 2, I place up to 2 lava in range of 2. So yet again, I am going to sit there and I'm going to place some lava. I'm going to place lava right here. And then I'm going to place lava right here, effectively negating out the water right here. So this is basically what this character is all about. And that is how a round in Montoon is going to go. No one acted around the waystone, so the waystone will not be moving. Next round, we're going to shields up. So you're going to put your character screen back up. You're going to re-roll your 5 dice, both players. And boom, we're going to assign Molthu's first. So Molthu is going to try this round to go ahead and go to the waystone, I think. I think they want to try the waystone. So they're looking at the waystone. They're looking for probably 1s here or 2s. We do ended up get a 1 or a 2. So we're actually going to do 1 and a 2 because we want to assign a bunch of stuff to our waystone. We're going to go ahead and maybe want to go first because we don't want them to get the waystone. So we're going to try and mark a 5. We can use our shell to cross that off to make it a 6, but we think Kava is going to go first, possibly with a 6 no matter what, because they have less health. So we're going to do that. And I realized earlier my Fissure Quake here, I did place that incorrectly because it was a 1. So because of that, this top line is essentially null and void. I can no longer use that. So I'm gonna, if I want to refill Fissure Quake, I'm gonna have to do it on the second round. So we're gonna try and place out this one. We're gonna do, we don't want to heal. So we're actually gonna place a 2 here. And then we're going to try and move a little bit. I can jump to lava with this special move. I don't want to do that. So we are just going to simply move here. And I'm actually going to go, I'm going to use my shell. So I'm going to cross off my shell, modifying this dice to 5 because I can increase it by 2. And I'm going to put that over here on the special movement. And I'm going to simply put this here because evens, I get to push 2. So that is what Molthu's going to do. Now, what did Kava roll? Kava rolled a couple of 6s. So this round, we're going to try it with Kava. We really want to try and inflict entangle. So let's look. How can we do that? Well, if we went first, we could place a 6 going first, guaranteed. If we did that, we could do our force 4 and we can entangle. So if we 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can jump. Let's go ahead and try and jump. So let's place a 1 here to try and jump 4. We're going to then, if we go first, so we want to place a 6 to try and go first. If we go first, we can entangle them. So if they're entangled, though, we can now deal damage equal to the die. So what we can do is, I don't have any other ways to get shells outside of this. So I did notice that. We are next to the waystone, so we could place a couple dice to get to the waystone. Let's do this. Let's try and go odd and even. So we could actually place a 6 to get that even, a 5 to get that odd, which then will get me a shell. And that shell, I'm actually going to go here because I want to sticky web them. So I'm going to use that shell to cross it off to make this a 3, and then I'm going to sticky web and hit them for 3 damage. That is the plan. Let's go ahead and do that now. Take a drink. Okay, so looking at the speed, Kava is going to go first. Let's go ahead and play it out. So Kava is being the aggressor in this game. At the beginning of the round, no Montoons are adjacent, so I don't poison them. However, I did place a die on jump 4, so I'm going to jump up to 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you're jumping, you ignore lava and terrain or Montoons, anything like that. You're literally picking them up from the place and putting them down. So I was able to get over there. Then, because of that, this move allows me to entangle. So I'm going to say, I'm going to put my weird roots on the ground and entangle Molthu, which means they're going to mark off this little box here showing they got entangled. And now their next move is reduced by 1. And now let's do the easy thing first. We're going to mark a 6 right here. That is the evens. We're going to mark a 5 right here. That is the odds. This is going to get me that. So I'm going to fill in that little web right there, getting a shell. That shell is going to go over here. I'm going to use that shell to modify my die up here to be 3. Okay. So now that we have that die modified, we're going to go ahead and sticky web Molthu for 3 damage. However, they are entangled. So if the target is already entangled, I'm going to deal damage equal to the die. So I've already entangled them. They're going to be hit for 3 damage. They're going to go over here and mark 1, 2, and 3. Boom. And now also notice, if they don't move, which they're most likely going to move, at the beginning of the round, they would take poison. Okay, Kava is officially done. Moving on to Molthu. I hope this is helping you guys understand a little bit of how the game's playing. Okay, so Molthu now is entangled, so that really sucks. My movement's going to be reduced by 1. So we're actually going to put a 2 here, getting a shell first. We're going to use the +1, -1 shell. We had a 5 for speed, so we're going second. Kava did not use the Waystone, so that's actually really good for us. We wanted to use the Waystone this round. So we're going to go ahead and do a movement of 5 because in order to do the Waystone, we have to be adjacent. So let's move 5. So, and that's going to be entangled, so we actually only have a move of 4. So we could do 1, 2, 3, 4 if we would like. We're actually going to do that right there because we want to grab this berry. That berry is going to go into our character sheet over here onto this berry, and that means we get a +1 damage on a future turn. So because we're next to the Waystone right here, this is the Waystone location, we're going to mark our Waystone. How do you mark the Waystone? This is really the hardest, most complex thing in the game, but it's really not hard. You can place up to 2 dice, and you cross off 2 boxes per die. The only restrictions is you have to cross off boxes adjacent to previously crossed off boxes. So I have 2 1s and 2 2s that I can cross off. I can cross off this one, so I can go right here. And now this is diagonal. Diagonal does work as adjacent in this game, so I'm going to cross that one off. Then I have 2 2s. I could go here, or I could cross off this 2 and this 2, which I'm actually going to do instead. Once I'm done performing my Waystone, the Waystone is going to move. So this thing is going to get rolled. Woo! It's going to move to number 1. So that's going to actually move right on over here. Cool. All done. And that is the second round of Montoons. We are going to erase our entangle because we're no longer entangled. We did get entangled. And then we're going to roll. Whoops. Okay. What am I doing? There we go. And then roll. Boom, 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 boom. So yet again, I said Kava is being the aggressor. Molthu this time is being the passive player. So they're trying to run away a little bit, do some stuff. So Kava's over here thinking, okay, we could go to the Waystone, get some stuff, but we are really the aggressive player. So we're just going to try and fight as much as we can. However, jump 4 is not quite going to work for us because it has to be a straight line, and we're not going to be able to fight if we jump through there. But there's lava, so we have to think about that as well. We could go through the whirlpool, which will allow us to move all the way over on this side. That's whirlpool is basically teleportation. So, sorry, I'm going to put that bottle right there for you guys. If I moved over there, I could 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I would be in range of 2 of that character. They're no longer entangled. They would be entangled, and I would deal damage. So that would actually work for me totally fine. So we're going to try and do that. We will take some damage, though, because we are moving exactly 5 or 6, and I have to move 6. So we're going to go ahead and do this. But we have to factor in, are they going to go first? We don't know if they are. So we're going to think, okay, maybe they're going first. So because of that, we're probably, we do want to play aggressive here, right? So let's go ahead and we're going to try and go first with a 5. It's not great, not likely, but we're going to try. Then we're going to for sure, but here's an interesting thing. Because we have an evens here, we really want to fill in that to do some special attack stuff. So because of that, we are going to go ahead and not use the 6 because we're going to put the 6 here to get our special attack. We're instead going to move 3 probably, and then we can basically place 2 toxic tokens out on the map. With that, we're also then going to go ahead and do this because ideally we think, let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2. We think if we go first, we can try and hit them with sticky web. That's totally fine. And then we're going to go ahead and as basically a security, or if we go second, we're going to put this on the Waystone because we can cross off a 1 and a 1 on the Waystone. So that's our goal. Okay, Molthu's goal is to be passive. So they're going to try and run away a little bit. They are able to run through lava, but notice they're a little bit stuck right here. If they go to this side, they're going to be taking poison damage, right? So we don't want to take that poison damage. We're going to try and get passive. We're going to try and go over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we need a 5 of movement. We might take some damage here if we wanted. We're going to try and do that. We're just going straight Waystone. We are going to go first because we are running away. This is kind of the passive player. We're going to try and very much use our full scale eruption. So we want to place on here. We're going to place this on this to try and get a heart. We're then going to put a 2 on here because of the tentacle whip. And then with our 5, we can go ahead and on the Waystone, we're going to place a 5. So maybe we don't. We actually want to place a 2. Yeah, we're going to place a 2 over there. Ooh, or we could place a 2 down here, getting that shell. That shell is going to allow us to move, allow us to move this 5 down to a 4. And then we can use that 4 to get a heart and possibly get a Waystone. That is also an option. So actually, we're going to do this. We're going to place 2 on the Waystone, 1 to get the shell, and that's going to be our play, right? You can see how this game has a lot of decisions. There's a ton of stuff we can do in the game. So here's what's going to happen. Speed values 5 and 6. So Molthu is going first. First thing we're going to do, I'm going to mark off a 1 here. Get that shell. That shell is going to let me get a +2, -2. I guess I did have a shell already. I didn't even need to do that. I'm going to cross off this shell here to make this 5 become a 4. Then I'm going to move up to 5. If I end on water, I take 2 damage. So we're going to move 1. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, getting another shell. We do take 2 damage. I think for us being the passive player, we don't want to take damage, but we also don't want to be in range of Kava. So we're going to go, we are going to go in there. We're going to cross off that shell, getting that shell bonus, which will give us a +3, -3. But we will, however, take 2 damage because we ended in water as per our move. And then we're going to do the Waystone because we are now adjacent to the Waystone token. We're going to use our Waystone action. So we're going to go ahead and cross off 2 4s and 2 2s. Here we go. 1 4, 1 4. That is going to give us the heart. So we're going to heal 1. And then we get 2 2s. Now, cross off this 2. That's going to get us our first Waystone bonus. So that means we fill in this little first Waystone. We also fill in our ultimate attack. We can now use our ultimate attack later on. And now we get to cross off 1 more box per die as per the rule. So because we have 1 more 2 left, we actually have 2 more 2s left. Because that was 1. Let's do 2. And unfortunately, that's all we can do. So that's totally fine. We are good there. So that was our action. The Waystone token is now going to move. So we have to roll the die to see where it's going. And it's going to go to the 3. That is all the way over there. So if we want to get to the Waystone, we'll have to go through the whirlpool. That is my move. Now it's going to Kava. So Kava's character, they're going to get a 5. They're going second. We're going to start by filling in this evens to make this work. So we're going to fill in this right here. Boom. I filled in an even because it's a 6. I'm going to mark this available. And now I can use either this move or this move. Okay, here's where it gets crazy, right? I can either place 3 toxic tokens in a straight line, then place 1 on my Hex, which I'm immune to poison, or I could deal 3 damage to 3 targets and inflict them with poison 3. But notice I'm not quite ready because it's blocked by the Waystone. So I'm going to have to walk near Molthu in order to attack them with this poison token. So I can do some crazy stuff here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to first, I am going to go ahead and move, I think, towards them. And I do have a 3. 1, 2. Yep. So I'm going to have to move towards this lava. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Kava is going to take a couple damage, so they're going to go down to 17. And my move says place 1 toxic token on 2 adjacent hexes while moving. So I can place a toxic token. I was right there, and then I can place right there as well. I did that. Then I am not going to be able to get the Waystone. So this is actually going to turn into an unused dice. So what an unused dice is, essentially at any point, if you don't want to use a move or you can't use a move, you turn it into an unused dice right over here. You're going to circle the leftmost unused dice. And then now on a future turn, after announcing speed, you can cross that off to increase your die by 1, which means you can go higher than a 6 and break ties and all sorts of stuff like that. Now I have 2 things I'm going to do. First, I'm going to inflict entangle. And then if the target is already entangled, deal damage equal to the die value. Well, boom. I'm going to inflict entangle, and then the target is entangled. So I'm going to deal 3 damage to them. They're going to go 1, 2, 3. They are going to cross off a golden heart, which means they can cross off 1 box anywhere on their waystone. And this player is passive, so they don't want to die. They're probably going to cross off this because they're going to try and get some hearts later on. That's their goal, right? So I did that. Then I still can use my special attack. So notice how I have my special attack. I'm going to cross this off, and I'm actually going to, I could place 3 tokens in a straight line, then place 1 on my hex. Let's look at where I am. I could do that, but that's not going to do as much poison as I want. So really, I'm going to use a second ability. I'm going to cross it off, dealing 3 damage and inflict them with poison 3. So I'm going to deal 3 damage right now. 1, 2, 3, and they have poison 3. So poison 3 means they're going to write a 3 in their poison box. And at the end of their turn, of their next turn, they're going to take 3 damage, reduce it to 2. Poison does stack. However, there is a stack limit of 4. So you can never go higher than 4 poison. I might be changing that to 3. We're playtesting stuff right now. So that is how the poison 3 is going to work. So I think Kava's doing a pretty darn good job so far. So we are good. That was round 3. Going on to round 4. So this is essentially how the game works. This is a 2-player game. One player is trying to be passive, and one player is trying to be aggressive. Molthu now definitely knows they need to run away. However, they want to go fast because they know they're at 10 life. They know they're going to go first, right? So Molthu's going to go first, deal a bunch of damage, and then run away and hightail it out of there. So we're going to start by playing it safe. We're going to definitely put a speed value of 6. We want to go first. Then we want to deal some damage. So we're going to go ahead and lava slap probably right there. We are going to use our jump to lava. We do take 2 damage, but we know we can get those hearts. So we're going to jump to this lava hex, I think, because it's the safest place for us to go, where they're going to run through lava and take a bunch of damage. So we're going to do that. We're going to place a 1 on there. Then we're going to do something. Yeah, we're going to do that. And then we're going to lock in our tentacle whip here. This is going to mean if numbers are odds, we're going to pull 2 in range of 4, 2 targets. Now, we know we're going to take a bunch of damage. So thinking about that, maybe we want to actually end on a heart hex. There's not a ton of healing here. So we're actually not going to do that. We're going to mark this right here, and then we're going to mark this right here just so we can get the hearts. And we actually might mark this here just to get Fissure Quake prepped. So that is going to be Molthu's move. And we do get to actually, yeah, that's going to be my move. Okay, Kava. Kava rolled a decent number of things, so let's see what we can do. Right now, we're intimidating the board heavily with toxic tokens. That's the goal. So whenever a player runs through toxic tokens, they take 1 instance of poison for each hex that they run into. So if let's say Molthu goes through this one and this one, they both will get removed, but Molthu will take 1 poison for each of those, taking 2 poison, which gets pretty crazy. So Kava probably not going to be able to go first because we don't have any shells. So we probably want to just start loading up the board with some more damage, right? So let's see. Let's start moving around to this other side and placing some poison tokens. So we know we're not going first. We're going to place a 2. Okay. The next thing, he is at the start of each round. All Montoons gain poison, so he is actually going to gain 1 poison. So It is the start of the round, so he's actually going to have poison 4, and that is the max. That's the stack limit. So we know he's going to be hurting. He's going to take some damage this turn, but we want to we're aggressive. We want to keep fighting in, right? So we're going to go ahead and go on our, probably we rolled some doubles. So we're going to spit some poison first off. We need some movement just in case. We're going to move 4 so we don't take the 2 damage. And then we're going to probably place out this one right here. If we do that, we can fill in this one. And we assign 1 more die there to maybe do a special attack on a future turn. So we're going to take a little bit of a setup round this turn. That's our turn. Okay, here we go. Molthu. Molthu's going to start by marking a 5 here. They're going to heal 1. Oh, if you hear my cat in the background, my cat's going crazy. He's going to mark a 3 on Fissure Quake, which they're going to heal 1. Boom. Then I'm going to jump, or I'm going to first Lava Slap. So I'm going to deal 1 damage to Kava and then place lava. Haha. 1 damage to Kava and then place lava. Nice, I like it. So 1 damage to Kava, and then I'm going to place 2 lava in range of 2. So Kava is going to take 1 damage because they're in range. Oh, they're already in lava, so I'm not going to inflict extra lava. However, I am going to go ahead and place, in range of 2, I do have to follow line of sight. So this is actually pretty rough for me right now. I'm going to place 1 lava right here, and then 1 lava right here, just so that it's easier for me to move. So that was actually kind of tough. I forgot they were in lava there, but that's okay because we are going to then jump. Oh, this was rough. We shouldn't have done that. We're going to jump to a lava hex and take 2 damage. So this kind of stinks. We're actually going to take a bunch of damage here. So we're going to go right here. We're going to go right there. We do take 2 damage. 1, 2, or sorry. 1, 2 up here. Boom, boom. Then at the end of our turn, we're going to take 4 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to reduce this to 3 poison. Woof. So now we're on a turn clock. Now we have to think, okay, we're passive. We need to start fighting back. Okay. So we probably shouldn't have done that, if I'm being honest. But that's okay. We did get a golden heart, which that golden heart we knew we were going to cross down here, getting us 2 hearts. So we actually healed back up 2. Okay. Woof. So this poison is pretty rough to go to get rid of. However, with poison, because we're playtesting and I'm noticing how strong it is, I'm going to allow players to use berries or shells if they gather that to reduce their poison by however many they get. So if I got this berry right here, I could reduce my poison number to 2. If I got this, if I went over here and got one of these berries, I could reduce it to 1. So that's a way to get rid of your poison. Okay, we're going to roll. Or sorry, we're not going to roll. Duh, Kava has to go. What an idiot. Okay, Kava's going to go. They're going to start by marking a 3, which is odds. We're going to mark this one right here. We're going to fill in this little guy, fill in this little guy, and this little guy. Cool. 1 more, and then we can mark that as available. We're going to go ahead and move 4 spaces. However, oh, sorry, I was this guy. I moved the wrong character. Let's see. He moved 4. 1, 2. So actually, that move entirely is not going to work. So 1, 2, 3, and well, actually, for the sake of playtesting, we're going to keep that right there, and we're not going to go 4 because we do not want Kava to get us. So Kava's right here. They're moving 4. Well, now I'm blocked with the whirlpool, right? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, just so I can start throwing out some toxic tokens. I'm going to just go crazy here, right? So I'm going to deal 3 damage. I cannot do that. However, I can place 3 toxic tokens in a range, in a straight line. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. But actually, we're going to put this on this lava hex just in case they want to. Oh, sorry, I can't. We have to go 3. So the board is starting to load up with lava and toxic now. This is chaos. Seriously chaos. Okay. That is all Kava's going to do. We're on to the next round. And now we're going to place Kava first. We're going to mark Kava first. Let's see. We're still trying to get him down, right? We're still trying to fight back. So we need to 1, 2, 3, 4. We cannot jump. We could jump 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can only get a little bit. So I think, again, right now, we're going to load up our Weaver's Gambit. And we're going to get a berry bonus because we want to start building up that power, right? So let's get an odd die. And then let's get another odd die so we can get a berry bonus. So we're going to place 2 odd dice there. Then we're going to go ahead and let's put a 4 there. We're going to move. If we do 6, 1, 2, we don't need to move 6. So actually, we're going to put a 4 on our movement here. And then we don't. This is where it gets interesting. We don't have 2 odd dice. So I think I'm going to place 1 right there. And then we're going to go. We could go to the Waystone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go to the Waystone this round with Kava. Because we can't do much else. 1, 2, 3, 4. We could go 5 movement. Let's not. Let's just do that. And then place another one here, healing up for 1. Or another one here, sorry. Let's do that. With Molthu is now starting to hurt. They're on a clock. So they need to either go to the Waystone and finish up the game, which he is right next to the Waystone. So we're going to do that first. They are going to take a bunch of poison here, though. So we got to be careful. So with the Waystone, we did have a 5. We need 5s for sure. But we really need 1s, 4s. We're going to use our shell. We're going to cross this off, making this a 4. Replace this on the Waystone. That's going to give us this 4 and this 4. And then we're going to place a 5. That's going to get us this 5, healing up 2. And that 5 is going to go right here, probably. So then we can start gathering that second Waystone. And then we're going to do this, and we're going to lock in that full-scale eruption because when we use that and deal damage, we're going to actually get our second Waystone bonus, which is going to allow us to mark off even more dice. So that's our game plan. At this point, we're going Waystone victory, and that is everything we need to do. But we also know we're on the losing end, so we need to start going faster. Do we change this to mark into a 6? I think because we don't necessarily know what they're going to do, we're going to change this to a 6. 6 right there. We're going to put that 5 right there, and this one will be a 1. So compare speeds, 6 and 6. Cool. We made the right choice, right? Because we're less health, we're going to go first. To the one person watching, by the way, thank you for sticking with us. This is kind of a lot. I know it is, but appreciate you for sticking around here. We're just playtesting, so it's just fun hanging out. You know what I mean? So we're going to start by marking our 1 and our 1. That means our full-scale eruption is full, and boom, we can now use our full-scale eruption. That is our ultimate attack, and we want to ideally place 6 in AoE and then deal some damage. So we could go right here, placing a bunch of lava. That's not going to hit our opponent, though, right? So we need to probably, right now would have been a good time to jump to lava. If we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that hits our opponent, but not super lot. We can place up to 4, ignoring line of sight, and then we have to throw 3. But we didn't do any movement, and I just realized that. So we mucked up a little bit, but that's okay. We got the Waystone action, so we're going to do what I said. We're going to get this 4. We're going to start by getting this 5. And then this 5. Then we're going to get this 4, giving us 2 hearts. Boom, opening up a golden heart. Then this 4. And because actually we want to go with that 4 because that one's closer. So we did that and that. So we are good. Now this Waystone is going to move. Waystone is going to move to number 5, right next to Kava, which That's totally fine because we know Kava's not really going for the Waystone, right? So we're doing that. We can place some lava 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, ignoring line of sight, and then we can throw a 3. That does have to follow line of sight, but that gets rid of 3 of their toxic tokens, which we're okay with that. What do we want to do here? There's so many decisions, and they are going to be moving towards me. So actually, it makes sense right now to just use our full-scale eruption, placing up to 4 lava in range of 5, ignoring line of sight, and throwing 3, but I cannot throw 3 because that does have to follow line of sight. So I'm going to place lava run right here, 2, 3, and then, you know what? Let's let's get crazy and let's do, because we cannot place lava on a whirlpool. So that's gonna erase all the toxic from the board. So the toxic tokens are gone. And boom, we effectively made it so, actually, sorry, what am I doing? I want to place it on their hex so I can deal damage to them. So I'm going to place lava under their hex. So they're going to immediately take 2 damage. That goes down to 14. They're going to get a golden heart, which for Kava, not too much. They're not too worried right now, but they do want to go ahead and get, let's go ahead and grab a 3 right here. Cool. They're not super worried about that. Now, at the end of the turn, Molthu is going to take 3 damage. We did get the Waystone bonus, the second one, which means now we can use any die values, we still have to follow dice value numbers, but we can cross them off in anywhere, no restrictions. So if I had a 3, I could start by this 3. I'm going to take 3 damage at the end of my poison turn. 1, 2, 3. Erasing this, going into, that goes down to 2. Boom, boom. Okay, we did cross off a golden heart, which means we are going to go ahead and we're out of health healing things besides this box, so we are probably going to use that. But for the sake of the game, we want to get this game over. So we want to cross this off here, or we want to open it up to other ones. So we're actually going to cross this 6 off right here. Cool, that's the round. Molthu's at 7. Kava is at 13. So Kava's doing pretty good here. However, it's not the end of the round, I guess. Molthu is doing a pretty good job as a passive player, because now, where's Kava going to go? You know what I mean? There's lava all over the place, and we don't know exactly what we want to do yet. So we're going to go ahead and cross off, do the easy thing, cross off the 5, get our ultimate attack ready to go. We didn't know the Waystone was coming here, so we don't know how about that. But we are going to now mark off this 2 odds. So we're going to use this odd, marking this as available. That is going to go first because I got my whole web all the way in. This whole web is all the way through. We can circle this for fun because it's hilarious. Just because I want to. And then I could place some tokens and then force 1 on force 2 a target. So if I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I could get there now because of that lava. He actually helped us a little bit. So now that changes some things. I do want to get an odd to get a shell. Unfortunately, I don't have another one to get a shell. So in that case, I'm going to go ahead and mark my second odd right here, like I said earlier, filling in this one, getting that berry bonus, and that berry bonus is going to give me a +1 damage. Now, inflict them with poison 3. Well, I can't do that. Moving 4, I can move 4. 1, 2, I could heal 1. I could use this. Ooh, I could use that shell. But if I use that shell, I'm going to be moving, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. I could just go over here, but I don't want to. I kind of want to be proactive, right? So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see. Or I could go 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I think we want to go centered. We're going to go right here. We are going to take 2 damage for the lava. So 1, 2. However, we are now going to use, we're going to go ahead and cross this off to place 3 toxic tokens in a straight line and then place one on our hex. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and then place one on top of our hex. So boom, now we're loading it up with poison like crazy. So far, it's still feeling pretty good. I'm liking it so far. Okay, that was round 5, I believe. Okay, now Kava's like, man, I'm at 10 life or 11 life. They're at 7 life. We can kill them this turn if we get the right area, right? So ideally, we need 2, and they're at 1, 2 poison still. So we know they're gonna take 2 poison at the end unless they take some, get some berries. So we want to inflict entangle for sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's try and go first here, and let's just hope. Because if they have a 6, we have an unused dice, so we could use that unused dice to go faster. Then if we jump 4, 1, 2, 3, yeah, we're going to jump 4, so we're going to place 1 dice here. Ideally, inflicting entangle. We're going to go here, getting that. This shell bonus is going to let us change this to be higher. Actually, no, we're going to do this. We're going to do this. This is even better. We're going to go right here doing... Oh, we can't do that. We want to deal damage equal to the die. So we actually want to do this using that shell to reduce that by 1. We're going to load up evens here because we want to start working on this next one. That will also give us a heart. So I think that's our game plan. Jumping ideally. Whoops. Sorry, folks. Jumping, inflicting entangle, and then dealing some damage, etc. Molthu now is thinking, okay, Kava's next to the Waystone. What are we going to do with Kava, right? Because we are about to get basically smooshed if we don't do something about this. But we also need to progress the game and kill them. They're at 11. We want to get the Waystone win. So if we jump to a Lava Hex, we're going to take damage, which is kind of rough, right? We can move 3. So let's move 6. Let's say we move, we got 5. Okay, we definitely want to move a lot here. We probably going to try and go first. There, we don't know what they have, remember. Let's lock in our tentacle whip just to do some damage. And then with this 4, we can go right here. Oh man. No, I actually need to heal, so I'm going to mark this 3 down instead. And then I could mark here for tentacle whip. Yeah, we're just going to go lava slap. Maybe getting a shell and then moving this there. Because I don't think... Let's see. If we go to the Waystone, we can get some 3s here. If we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can get there. So let's go ahead and try that. We're actually going to go... we don't have any ways to get shells unless we use golden heart, which we're only going to get 1 golden heart. This is where the decision making gets really tough. We could just jump, take some damage, but then we're right in line of sight. This might be a bad play. We're going to jump, just take a bunch of damage here. We're going to try and heal a little bit, and then maybe go to the Waystone. So we need to mark some 3s, and we need to mark some 4s, I believe, is the play here. So let's see, some 3s, if we mark that. 4. We really need 5s, actually, don't we? Because mark 4, 5. Yeah, we actually need... Storm. Psst. Go, buddy. We actually need to get 5. So we actually need to go 4 here. Okay. So, boom. 6. Kava's going to be going first. Boom. Which is exactly what we were hoping for. So, that's exciting. We're going to remove this dice. We don't even need to use our unused dice. We're going to start out by placing 2 evens on here. We're going to go 1 even, filling this web in, giving us a heart. That heart's going to go up to 12. And then we're going to fill in this even right here, getting our web ready to go. Ideally, that's the play, right? So we just need one more odd in order to do another one. That being said, we did that. We're going to jump 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to get that berry or that shell bonus underneath there. That shell is going to move us up to a +2. We're then going to, actually, no, we're going to use the +1 because we only need to reduce it by 1. So we're going to cross off that shell, reducing it by 1, making it 4. Boom. Inflict entangle. And so now they're entangled. And then they're also, and this actually says deal damage instead. So if they were already entangled, deal damage instead. But if not, inflict entangle. So I'm actually going to deal 4 damage to them. And I think that's going to be enough if they're not able to do anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to let them mark Golden Heart. Golden Heart is going to let them go here, get this berry bonus. That berry bonus, they're going to reduce their poison by 1 instead. So they're actually going to be at 1 poison. So that's how the reduction of poison can be done. I really like that. And cool. That's what I wanted to do. I thought that was pretty good. That was pretty worth it. Now Molthu is like, oh crap, I'm about to get blasted. So I'm going to mark off this 3. Healing up. I do get a golden heart with that heal. We're going to jump to the waystone, taking some damage. So we're going to jump all the way right. Let's see. We could go right there, reduce, watching out for the toxic tokens. We're going to do that. We do take 2 damage though. 1, 2, which gets us another golden heart. Oh, baby. With that golden heart, we're going to go ahead and use, it can be anywhere. We're actually going to mark this 4 off right here. And then we have the waystone. So now we're going to mark 2, 3. We're going to mark 2 3s, which is going to go 1, 2, or 3 3. Sorry, 3 3s. Actually, yeah. Oh, that's exciting. We're going to mark off the third 3 right here. That's going to get us a berry. We're going to use that berry instead to reduce our poison. Wow. We have no poison. Let's go. Okay, cool. I like that. And then 5 with the 5s. We now get to mark off 3 5s. Unfortunately, this 5 here is our only one. This 5, and then we could mark that shell, and then that is about all we could do there. So we are about to win. We're about to win for sure with Waystones if Kava does not do anything about it. So cool. So that's exciting. The Waystone will move. Boom, boom. It's going to go to 6. Beautiful. Okay, right there. That is it. Now we're on round 6. It's getting down to the wire here. Kava's like, oh crap, I need to kill him right now because he just reduced his poison all the way down. He's going to win with the Waystones if I don't do something. So I need to get super close to him. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't jump. However, I could move 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get there if I move 6. I also want to go first. So ideally, we're going to place a 6 here. We're going to use, we don't have a shell, so we can't do that. We're going to place a 6 on movement. We're going to try and move 5. We need to place an odd die here in order to get this available. And then we need to, we need to then maybe place this heart. If we take 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, we take some damage. We could place a 2 here, getting a berry bonus, and then we could do this. That's the play here. Okay, so I'm already noticing something in my character sheet. So this isn't updated, so I have to look and see what it is. But it says inflict entangle. If the target is already entangled, deal damage equal to the die value instead. Now, right now, all it would be doing is inflicting entangle. So that doesn't feel super great, right? So I don't really want to do that necessarily. I want to kind of, build it up a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that there. And I think think that's what's going to happen. So I'm going to deal some damage instead. I think I'm going to change that to 1 to 3 probably. Okay, so that's the play. Molthu is like, okay, Waystone, baby. That's what we got. We got all about the Waystone. I think we're going to try and get, if we go here, we have to take some poison damage, which just 1 poison, which is totally fine with us. We're still going to survive if we do that. And then I think we win if we go first. So, oh no, we didn't get any 6s, but we are able to use this to cross it off to make this a 6. We're going to place that speed, and we're just going to hope that we can go first. If we don't, we're just going to die, and that's totally fine. However, we're going to try and do the Waystone. We do need the Waystone. We need some, let's see. We literally needed a 1. So actually, we needed to... Is there any shells out here? Nope. We needed to use that shell to make this a 1. So we probably are going to die because of the initiative here. So we needed to make the Waystone a 1, and that would let us get our 3rd, which then we can just need to place 1 more dice, and then of anything, we would have got it. And then we can, let's see, place a 5 here and a 5 here just as an insurance policy. So that's the plan. Okay, this is the final round. Here we go, folks. 5 and a 5. However, this player had an unused dice earlier in the game, so they're going to cross that off, making their dice a 6, and they are going to be going first. They're going to start by crossing off this 2, getting another shell. They're going to use this 3 to go here. That is going to mark in their full web here. This web is going to get full. Boom, mark as available. And now we're going to be able to deal some damage and inflict poison, so we're excited about that. We're going to move 6. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, which we are going to take a couple damage for that. We're going down to 11. Plus, we're going to take 2 damage for our basic move, which is also rough. But we get a golden heart. That golden heart is going to allow us to go here, getting our final berry. That berry is going to load up there. And boom, I think... Oh, sorry, I get another even. Or odds. I think I just filled that in already. Cool. So now I think we can do it. I think we can do it, folks. Kava's going to get the win here. We're going to go ahead, and we did do that. We're going to inflict sticky web. They are entangled, so they're going to take 4 damage plus 5, 6, 7, 8. Or sorry, it was the other way around. 8 damage in total. You know, we actually, what are they at? They're at 8 damage in total. Plus, I could also use the Weaver's Gambit to deal some damage instead. So, boom, there we are. Molthu ends up getting taken down by Kava on round 7 because it was a passive player. Whew, we did it. We did it, folks. Kava, that is how Kava is playing out. That felt actually pretty fun. There's some finicky things here I need to do. Obviously, Poison 3 is really powerful, as you've noticed, but you can reduce it with your food. And, you know, Molthu kind of did it to themselves because there was a couple turns where they took damage on purpose when they probably shouldn't have. So that's the difference between an aggressive player and a passive player. A passive player are more likely to make dumb mistakes because they're trying to run away. Whereas an aggressive player is all about, okay, how can I play optimally? Boom, I need to do this way. So there we go. That is that. And that was the win. Kava felt pretty good here. So, boom. Thank you so much for watching. That was going to be today's live stream. I'm really excited. I leave on Thursday to Fergus Falls to meet Berkey of Game Toppers to talk about sales and a possible future role with Game Toppers. We're also going to, talk about Gamma upcoming. I just got signed up for a long pack event at Gamma. I'm going to bring Punch Kick Block. I'm so excited because I get to learn about these manufacturers and learn about industry folks more on a detailed side of the business side of things rather than just designing and everything. So, I got goosebumps because I'm just pumped for that. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope this was entertaining at least. I tried to make sure you guys were able to understand what I was doing as I was playing. But until next time, we'll talk to you later and keep playing some Montunes. Bye-bye now.